Dave and Jay versus the world.
Nice.
Oh, my fault. I thought.
Fuck. And welcome back to another episode in Dave and Jay versus the world. We're not saying numbers anymore.
That's right.
But we do have my man Matt in the studio today.
Welcome, Matthew.
Hello.
Our first guest.
Our very first guest. It's an honor to have you.
I'm a little excited.
I'm excited.
Excited and nervous to have Matt here.
Nervous.
A little bit, because you know how Steph is. You know, she's like, Matt's coming on, huh? Well, I hope that
I thought you were worried about
dynamic up.
her critiques of the show.
And I go, well, that's a lot of pressure now. I'm usually pretty comfortable, but now I'm scared for my life.
How are you, Matt? How are you feeling?
I'm good. I'm feeling good. This Heady Topper is
I told
pretty
you,
solid. Yeah.
it's rated the best beer in the world, bro.
And yeah, as soon as it hit the lips, I agreed.
Is that true? Do you really
No,
feel like
I
that's
really
the
do
best
feel
beer
that.
in the
Don't
world?
Fucking lie to me.
No, I'm not lying.
It's the best beer you've ever had.
It's pretty good.
Because I had
everything
it,
that I like in a beer.
and I felt like it was, it was all right.
It's got huge titties.
It's got everything that I love in a beer. Huge titties and bitterness is how I felt. But, to each his own.
So to everybody out there, you know me, Jay, you know Dave, okay?
Hey.
You've guys gotten accustomed to us over the last couple weeks, and we got Matt in studio today, so he plays for Tidal Gloom. He plays bass also in a little band my brother jams with him in called Jade Helm, and he also plays with Funeral Fries. Right?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah, it's Funeral
Yeah,
Fries.
Funeral
I
Fries.
knew it was Funeral Fries.
It is Funeral Fries.
No.
Oh, what is it called?
He said seasoned funeral fries. Oh, my God. Funeral
No,
fires.
Oh, Funeral Fires.
That's the funniest shit.
I've been calling it Funeral Fries.
That's all right. I call
Yeah, that's what our group
I call-
message is called.
charcuterie boards, chartreuse boards.
You know, chartreuse, I found out as a color.
It's a color?
It's
Yes,
it's
indeed.
like a puke
Indeed.
green, and you've been saying I've been serving my wife puke green boards
Well,
for
no,
the last
I've
week.
been saying my wife is serving me puke
Oh
green
my
boards.
God! I've been calling your band Funeral Fries for
You really thought that was the name?
I
Which,
was
by
like-
the way, Matt, not a bad name.
Yo,
Funeral
I
Fries
thought it was
is a
fun.
pretty solid name.
I thought it was fun. I was like, okay, so they're like a fun, drinking
Yeah.
heavy band, Funeral
Little
Fries.
French fries at a funeral.
fries
Nothing wrong
with
with
beer.
that.
I get it.
It's never too late to rebrand.
How good would some McDonald's fries be with that heady
I
top?
mean, dude, that's the first thing I thought of when you said funeral fries.
Living
That's
the
what I'm
dream.
saying.
The
It's gonna
dream.
kill you.
That's it, baby.
So how long have you been making music? Because I happen to be the only one in this room with
As
zero
long as
musical
he's been
talent.
making love.
That's a
40
long-
years.
Wow, jeez. Matt's a little long in the tooth. Look good for 40, 52? 52, because it starts at
56.
12.
Yep.
I've been playing for about 20 years, but in bands, probably about 16 years since freshman year of high school. Actually.
So 20 years. Take me through the math there. How old were you when you developed a musical interest?
Musical interest. I always kind of had that. My dad always played Pink Floyd and Led Zeppelin when I was younger, so I was always listening to that kind of stuff.
Sure.
But yeah, I didn't really think to play music until I saw Blink-182 on.
Oh my God,
on MTV.
changed my life, bro. But
Yeah,
it's,
no,
but I was
seriously.
talking about that in the last
Yeah.
podcast. It's embarrassing. I feel when somebody goes, "So who's your biggest influence?"
Oh, I'm not embarrassed by that at all. I mean,
Blink-182.
maybe now when you listen to
A
some of this
little
stuff,
bit,
but-
yeah.
Well, musical snobs make you feel that it's not, because I was embarrassed to say my first introduction to anything resembling punk rock was Green Day, but for some reason that just
you
doesn't.
look like a
don't
you
you
look like
fucking
a
now?
Billy.
Don't-
You look like a
don't-
shitty Billy
don't
Joel
fuck-
Armstrong.
You couldn't see me on the streets and go, "That looks like a shitty Green Day fan." Don't fucking say that.
I'd pick you out in a crowd of 100.
100 out of 100 people, that fucking dude
Let me
right there.
let me tell you something about Matt, okay? Because we know he plays music. You
Sure.
can look up Tidal Gloom and Funeral Fries.
Sure.
Okay. Some of the greatest bands out there right
Absolutely,
now. We know that
absolutely.
for a fact.
Yes.
But what you guys don't know is that back in the day, okay, early 2000s, you were measured by the size of your DVD collection.
Yeah.
And this guy here, he had the size of our studio.
Yeah.
This game room,
Yeah.
wall-to-wall DVDs.
Done in the
And
Dewey Decimal
VHSs,
System.
and
Okay.
VHSs.
But
All right.
yo, how good
Most of those were VHSs, actually.
it was impressive.
Yeah.
Now, how many? You remember how good my collection was getting there for a while? It was getting pretty
it was
solid.
Were
Yeah.
you inspired by Matt to
I
up
was.
your DVD game, your
Well,
VHS game?
Well, yeah, absolutely. Because I was like, oh, I got to step it up. If this is him, And then you would have guys like our boy Fetty, who's dead.
Rest in peace, Betty.
He always used to ask Matt to borrow movies, and Matt would be like, No, I'm not going to
Yeah,
do
no.
that.
Why? Because you're never gonna get it back.
Yeah, no,
Is that
certain people you just don't trust with that.
I
You're
agree,
almost
I agree.
guaranteed if you gave it to our boy Fetty, you would have to go buy it back from EB Games later that.
He's gonna sell it. He's gonna fucking sell it
Of
to
course.
disrespectful
Yeah,
EB
that's one
Games.
of
You
That
don't
gives you.
die at 30 if you're not selling EB
That's
Games
true.
or
That's it. You
drugs.
can kind of plot that out on a map. That I didn't get into music at all until like 13 years old. I had no interest in music. Maybe there was stuff on like some movies that I watched that I enjoyed a soundtrack. Heavily into the Lord of the Rings soundtrack, but
Armageddon
I didn't
soundtrack?
No, well, not
Steve
that
Tyler?
old. So, well,
And I don't want to miss a thing.
I didn't. I listened to music in the car with my mom. My mom listened to Blink 182, System of a Down, shit like that. And
pretty cool mom.
She's pretty
That's
solid.
What they're landed at the listen to at the trailer park.
Yeah, well, no, I didn't fucking live in a trailer park, you son of a bitch. All right.
Nice.
Although we also didn't own a home.
You guys were rocking.
But I had a buddy who, when my mom would take us to the mall or something like that, we would go, hey, put on that loud
Happy
screaming shit music, and she would immediately know to put on System of a Down, and that was during the Hypnotize and Mesmerize albums.
Oh, yeah.
And so it was fucking great. But
What
it's
kind
just,
of car did your mom drive? Like I could
Mitsubishi,
see
a black Mitsubishi.
Wait. Let me tell you what I could see.
Well, I
her
already
in.
said the words. Now you
A
go ahead.
1996 Mercury Cougar.
No, what? How dare you?
Champagne brown.
How? My mom drove a jet black Mitsubishi Eclipse GT. All right, so
Oh,
That's what I would have guessed.
That's
honestly.
fucking right.
Yeah, looking
So
at you, that's what I
really?
would have
whipping
guessed, yeah.
around. My mom is the shit.
I would have guessed the early 90s Buick.
Don't be so disrespectful. It's way
Buick
too early in the
Regal,
episode for you
something
to be
with some rust on the doors.
disparaging my mother. How fucking dare you?
I'm sorry.
God damn it.
Could be worse. Could be
But-
talking about grandma right now.
It's always interesting. What was? Wait, don't bring my grandmother into this shit. We have a guest. We have a guest. I'm gonna need you to take it down a few notches. Don't disrespect me in front of our guest, our first guest, and you're gonna bring up my grandmother.
I'm so sorry.
You're gonna bring up my grandmother in
That
front of our
sweet
first
lady
guest?
who used
That's
to
right.
bang
Wait,
really-
no. Wait a second. But it's
Really
always
powerful
interesting to me because I feel like I was late to the music game. 13 is late. Wouldn't you agree?
No,
No?
not really. Like, I mean, depends how deep you got into the game. At 13, was that like your first introduction to like being into music and bands and artists and stuff?
My first album that I ever got was the Eminem Show. My mom bought herself the dirty version,
Sounds
bought me
about
the
right.
clean version. That's right. And
Yep.
and then it was a long stretch in between my next album. So
Yeah.
I really wasn't, and I never asked for that album. She
Guys,
just surprised
Do
me.
you want to know what my first two albums were?
I do.
Okay, ready?
Yeah.
Green Day Dookie
Okay, that's a solid move.
on DVD. Lenny Kravitz, Fly on cassette.
I didn't.
I bought one.
I gotta
had
admit-
enough money for two things.
I didn't see the second one coming. Lenny Kravitz.
I had enough money for two things. Couldn't get two CDs. That was $40, but I did have enough for Fly Away. by
Okay.
Lenny I wanna fly away. That's a good one. And I had
That's Lenny
enough money
Kravitz?
for
I
the
didn't even know
Dookie
that.
album, the CD. I went to Bradley's. I'll never forget it. My dad's like,
Bradley's.
"Here you go. Here's a couple bucks."
With
And
the
I was like,
carousel. They had a carousel in the front in Bradley's. Remember that?
no, they
Oh.
didn't.
All right, that's fine.
Wait, did they?
No, they totally did.
Well, I just remember going there and just going right for do you remember the infinity mirrors that they had at Bradley's? Where you would stand between the things and there was the infinity
Oh yeah,
mirror?
yeah.
Oh my god.
Was that on the escalator?
There was no escalator. Bradley's was
Maybe
one
not
fucking
your Bradley's.
level.
I lived in a wealthy, up and coming area.
You lived in the
fucking
trailer
Perth
parks
Amboy.
in
I
Rahway.
did not live in the
Carteret, sorry.
Carteret. Thank you very much. But Matt, when you got into music, did you go like full bore? Was it like something that caught fire and you just started collecting stuff, or was it like me, where it was kind of like a sloppy, hesitant, hitting the brakes, getting one album, and then waiting several years before the next one?
I got super into it.
Yeah?
Super into it. Yeah, after my first album, I would just listen to it over and over again, which, by the way, was Linkin Park Hybrid Theory.
Fuck
that was
yeah.
1999, I think.
John Podesta's son. Shout
But-
out John Podesta's son.
Yeah.
I got that and Vertical Horizon, which I don't know if you remember is like an alternative like
Oh,
rock band.
I remember Vert Horizon.
Vertical Horizon.
Yeah, no. So having those two albums,
Yeah.
obviously, I went a little bit more towards the Linkin Park side and just listened to that.
I
over
went
and
a
over
little
again.
bit more on the Lenny Kravitz side.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
you-
started
I
wearing
can
a lot
see
of
now.
bracelets.
A lot of
Bandanas,
bracelets.
you know.
But I also took some inspiration from Green Day and played my guitar about down to my shins.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh,
when
yeah.
you-
Because he would loosen
The
the
lower
strap
you
up.
played your guitar, the cooler you were. So
That-
you know,
that's
it's
pretty
so
cool.
weird how like I've known Matt forever, and he's been playing music forever, dude.
Well, since you've known me, because that's how I met you.
Yeah.
Music.
Oh, you guys
Being in a
met
br-
through music?
Well,
Cocaine.
Music and cocaine. That's the same thing. You're just using a synonym for music. That's the same thing. You
Well, no,
guys-
I was
cinnamon-flavored
actually straight
cocaine.
edge. I was straight edge before. Well, straight edge. You
Oh,
know,
I
before
got
met
him.
you. Yeah,
I knew
he
it.
ruined me.
Oh,
like,
you
the day
ruined
he
Matt?
met me. Yeah.
Matt came in and was like,
Jay's a
look,
little bit older than me, so
he's a lot a bit older than me.
I met you when I was, I don't know, 16.
How old are you now, 30?
16? I'm 30 now, yeah.
I'm
I think I
30.
was 16 when I met you.
Yeah, because I had 5,
I
almost
didn't have
6
a
years on
license.
you.
I'm not gonna lie to you. By the way, the guy from Vertical Horizon is
Oh,
he's
man,
like
he
a
is
handsome
good.
Howie Mandel.
Oh, look at him, Matt.
Not a
That
great.
was the guy. You were walking through the aisle and was like, I want to be like
Nothing
that
says
dude.
I'm a bad motherfucker like stretching that soul patch out.
you
all
I
the
didn't,
way
even, I
down.
didn't even know that they look like that.
I had no idea what they look
It
like.
turns out him and Chester, I think, both had the soul patch.
I used to listen to Hoobastank.
Yeah,
Oh,
Hoobastank
yeah, wait,
was
wait,
sick.
wait,
Piece of
wait.
shit.
We're
Go
not
ahead.
gonna.
Don't-
I'm not gonna sit
now,
here and then
don't-
you start bad mouthing Hoobastank.
No, I liked Hoobastank.
Where's an I do? Where's an
Well,
I
my-
go?
what was that one
Don't
song?
understand what you want from me. Oh my
I'm
god!
right in the middle over here because they're not good and they're not bad, dude.
I loved them
I
at,
don't know.
at
I
the ripe old
liked
age
them.
of 15. I thought
Oh
they were the
man, when
shit.
they first came out, they were the tits. Shut up! Shut up! Shut
They
your-
had a run. Hoobastank had a run.
Shut
Although their
your
name
mouth.
doesn't make any fucking sense at all. What is a Hoobastank?
That's the best part about the band, yo.
The name was pretty solid.
Well, I have a thing with bands where it just seems to be you could just put any series of words together, no matter how unrelated they are, and that's just suddenly your band name. Like
Ready?
once I
Okay,
heard,
ready?
Catch on.
Yeah, here we go.
eventually.
Ready?
Yeah.
Static X.
Yeah, I
how
mean-
about Milk Hotel?
Neutral Milk Hotel.
Yeah, what the? What
I
the
don't know,
fuck
but
does
if you
that
listen
even
to the
mean?
band, it makes sense because it makes no sense.
No, Static X totally makes sense when you see his
well, yeah,
Slim Jim
exactly.
style hair.
Yeah, of course.
I was heavily.
They just
into,
released a song with like demos of his stuff before he died.
Oh yeah.
It's weird.
Is it? Is
And
it
they did
good?
like CGI. They CGI'd him into the video.
Like they Tupac'd him. They
straight hologram.
hologram.
I don't know the name of the artist, but very recently on Alt 92.3, which is one of my favorite radio stations, a very simple man. They started playing this band that was like trying to do a rap punk thing, like a Good Charlotte. Remember
Okay.
Good Charlotte? So
Look,
now
I'm
they're
gonna tell
trying to
you
do that now.
That first Good Charlotte album.
Good
you know,
Charlotte
pop-
was
I mean,
the
and the
shit.
second one and the third one. It's a sick
Whoa,
band.
wait,
so-
whoa. Like I know you're the music guy in the room, but
doesn't
I'm
mean
the fighting
anything.
guy, and I'll punch you in the
If
face.
there's anybody that
if
we
you-
reference to, I mean, we go to him for musical taste.
Sorry, not today, boys. Not if he's telling me Good Charlotte third album shit.
I don't remember
Which
Good
one was
Charlotte's.
the third one? I really don't remember that one.
I
It was
think
probably
that's
the
the-
first two that were good.
We're gonna bring
It's
up
a
Good
new
Charlotte's
day.
disco holography. Good.
Yeah, Good Charlie.
Charlotte.
Good Charlie. Is that
Discography.
Charlie's discography.
There we go.
That's a pretty cool name, actually. Good Charlie.
Good Charlie. So there was the young and the hopeless.
The infamous.
Yeah, that was
The
sick.
infamous. That was a good one. Yeah. Chronicles of Life and Death. I remember that.
Don't
being
even
good.
remember that one.
I remember that being
Nope.
good. This is just as good. Charlie. Good morning.
Yeah,
Morning
no, I don't know
Revival.
any of that. I don't think any of that was any good.
Cardiology. Their greatest hits.
Of
Youth
course, they got a
Authority.
greatest hits.
Youth Authority was
Yeah, they had
released
a
in
lot more than I thought.
2016.
Yo, but at that point, they were like 36, 38 years old.
Which is kind of gross, right?
It's a little bit
weird.
creepy
I agree, especially when you're trying to look like you can see the image there on the Wikipedia. Is that Vin Diesel in the center? It's a very
Yep.
strange
That's Vin
look.
Diesel.
That's Vin Diesel before the movies.
Dude, if you came over my house with eyeliner on, I'd kick you out. I would be like, dude,
Bro, you've
Get the
worn
fuck-
eyeliner before.
no.
I've seen you in
no,
eyeliner before.
No, I've
Fuck off.
never. No
Yeah.
way. No.
Yeah.
You've never seen me in fucking eyeliner.
Oh yeah, I have,
my
dude.
God.
Yeah.
Don't
yeah.
you lie to these
Oh
people.
no, you had your emo.
When
phase,
did I
dude.
ever wear eyeliner?
oh my
Back
god!
in like 2008, dude, when
Please
everyone else
let
was
me
wearing
be the
eyeliner.
truth.
No way. I couldn't
Did
afford
you just say
eyeliner.
maybe because you did?
Oh
Man, I
my
was
God.
thinking maybe I got real drunk one night and I threw a little.
No,
little
no, I'm with
accent,
Matt on this. I think
you
you
know?
leaned in. I think you wanted to be
No, I
in
might have
Good
got a little-
Charlotte.
You look pretty cool, dude. You know.
I think you
didn't
look pretty
have
cool.
eyeliner. Those were just my beautiful lashes.
You got a set of lashes on you, but hey, man, I can't fault you for
I
wanting to be.
Didn't.
I mean,
know,
whatever,
in Good
dude. I
Charlotte.
wear
Where-
girl pants.
Yeah,
You know.
hey,
I
and
wore
look what
girl
happened.
pants, but I did not wear eye.
All right,
Dude,
now
let
that's
me-
a weird line to draw,
Wait a second.
Jay.
Wait a second. Let me ask you this: do you honestly think I could have walked around Perth Amboy with eyeliner on?
You walked around Perth Amboy in
Good
girl
point.
pants.
That's because respect I never told them they were girl pants. First of all, they started getting it though when it flared out at the bottom a little bit.
God. The bell bottom jeans.
They were a little belly. I had to cut them. Go high water because they were a little
with the white
flared.
studded belts.
Something about the
Medium
idea.
t-shirts.
Dude, you were just trying to get some puss back then. When you
That's
wore
all
that,
it was,
when you
yeah.
wore that belt to the
Sideways,
side,
yeah.
the more feminine you looked,
Yeah.
the more.
What was that?
chicks
Like
you could
staggering
pull.
your belt off to the side was
That
somehow
was the scene,
cool.
dude.
It was
I
like
don't
how
know
a
what that was.
peacock goes,
Right.
and like the feathers go
Right.
out. It's like, look at this belt off to the side. Ready? Watch this hair, and then you would
Yes.
toss your hair.
Did you have the hair?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah?
I did.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
all right. I had
Matt
the hair.
had it just recently. Actually, that thing was
Hey man, you
about
There's
5,
nothing
6
wrong
weeks
with
ago.
holding on to nostalgia.
Yeah,
It looks
yeah, he
like
did.
Good Charlotte. Their first album was called Good Charlotte, which of course was probably the one that obviously it's the first one that they released, but it's the one that everybody became accustomed to, and then The Young and the Hopeless, and then The Chronicles of Life and Death. Anything beyond that?
Yeah,
I
so
don't
the
think-
first three.
The
Yeah.
first three, yeah. So
Yeah.
I think that's fair. I want to see what was.
Yo, how was
Yeah,
it
that was
shooting,
the one, dude.
How was it shooting your
Yes.
video? The one with Rich.
Oh, that was
Shout out to our boy Rich.
Oh yeah, for Title Gloom. That was it was like the coldest night ever.
It looked pretty chilly.
Yeah,
but
no,
he had a nice pea coat on with a scarf. The
And
Rich.
a nice buzz too.
Oh, you know my
Especially-
baby was
Especially
buzzed.
that second night, we knew how
Oh,
cold
yeah,
it was.
dude.
So
He had-
homeboy got ready.
I respect that about Rich. The only thing is like what made me laugh during the
Look
video.
what I stopped on.
What made
Just
me
look at
laugh.
me.
That's how
we
good
shot-
looking
There was
he is.
2 nights that we shot. That was the first night. I don't think he was buzzed that night, but the second night, it was a little bit more labor intensive. You know, I had him running around.
Now, when he
falling over and
ran,
shit.
I couldn't stop laughing because I've seen Rich run like that from police, from dogs. So when like I see him running like that, from when he would like smack one of our friends in the back of the head, he'd
And
take
then haul
off
ass
down
away,
the
yeah.
street. I've seen him run, and I was like, oh my god, that's just funny
That's
because
the
it
same
reminds
run.
me. Is somebody,
I know, he gave it his all,
Which
straight
piece
up.
of shit has their
was
phone?
you.
Look at
Sorry,
you.
that was my.
So ready,
I am
guns
that
at the
piece of
ready and
shit.
everything. Yeah, I never got any kind of musical talent. I never played an instrument and felt inspired enough to keep going down that road. You know, I did like acoustic classes.
I figure with your height, that's
That would be the move,
step,
right?
you
Well,
know?
really, it's the charisma and the face and the dick and the body. I mean, you know, the list goes on and on. So I didn't really need to be any kind of.
I could see you like a Dave Navarro type.
a Dave Navarro type.
Yeah, you look kind of like.
I mean, I'll
Navarro.
take it. It's a powerful move. But I never really got into playing the instrument. So to me, it's always like the mystique of it. Like, what is it that you felt that made you be like, I can keep fucking doing this? I mean, is it true the not the stigma, but like the idea that being in a band, being musically inclined, having musical talent automatically makes chicks intrigued to some degree? And is that the original driving force? Because I hear, am I talking out of hand? That
Yeah,
a lot
but
of
you're talking
talking,
maybe in
like-
the 80s.
in the 80s,
In the
you think
80s.
that died?
Definitely, yeah.
That was
yeah, I mean-
I don't know. I mean, I wanted chicks real bad when I started a band when I was 16, but
And it wasn't-
It was just a bunch of dudes at the shows, man.
I mean, yeah, of course.
It
yeah,
is a
playing
bunch of
that
dudes
kind
at the
music.
shows?
Yeah. It's you go in with the idea, but you come out with just
dudes.
a lot of dudes.
A lot of
it's- I can-
appreciation
I've,
from
I've seen
dudes.
it be the driving force for people before, but like for me, that never was.
Definitely
like, I
for
don't know.
SoundCloud rappers. If you had a tattoo on your face and you were doing hip hop,
so?
I'd be like, "Oh, Matt's trying to get laid.
I think
and drive nice cars."
Jay could be a SoundCloud rapper.
I could be a SoundCloud.
I think you could.
rapper.
I think you probably
I just
could
got to
pull
put
it
it
off.
together. You know, I'm working on that next.
If anything, we'll do a Dave and Jay versus the World SoundCloud rapper edition. So we'll drop an album.
Dave and Jay versus the world.
Do one EP.
With
Let's
the
do one
hotness.
EP.
Yeah.
At
Can
least.
we do one EP?
We get some chicks, like some casual encounter Craigslist girls, and then like we could like rent some
like
cars
a-
off of like Turo,
Right.
and then we could put it together. We got the camera.
I think that's a pretty like Colby, how he gets the chicks and they
That's-
rub his shoulders and shit, and they
you know how we're doing.
Yeah,
it,
we could
bro.
do that.
Yeah.
I told my wife, I was like, you know, it's just getting crazy with the amount of
Let me ask you a question.
DJ VW fangirls that we have. Just
Stephanie does go, who are those women on those? And I'm like, hey, take it easy. I don't even know this woman.
they're just gals with good taste.
I guess so.
I mean, you know,
I noticed you following off a lot of them though, Dave.
who?
Let me ask you something right
Go
now.
ahead.
Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Your mother, my wife, your wife. Marry, fuck, kill.
That's no. I don't want to bring my mom. Don't bring my mom into this,
Okay,
man.
your grandma.
No. Hey, I refuse to answer the question. You're very disrespectful, and I think you brought off my grandma for the last time. All right.
Well, then great grandma.
That's fair. My great grandma, she was a looker.
I want to ask Matt a couple things. Like, how has it been since kind of like, nope. I mean, they don't really know, but really, Matt is he's like what did they used to say? Like the fifth member of the Beatles or something like that?
Sure, yeah.
Right? That's like an expression.
Yeah.
I'm not.
No,
I think
Matt's kind of like the third member of Dave and Jay vs. the World. He's behind the scenes.
Yeah, because
He
without
works
Matt, we would put forth a dog shit product.
He works with us every week. Like, it's really collectively, we all put this together and make it for everybody, to listen to.
Yeah.
And Matt is like a big part of that, because without him, the show, I don't know what it would sound like, honestly.
We would have had to have tried to figure it out with our limited technological knowledge.
It's difficult.
I mean,
you
I remember
how
you showed me the one podcast that you guys did together on his
Oh
old
my
podcast.
God.
That was,
boy,
Matt, it was
hard to listen to.
Might have been this phone, because your boy doesn't get an upgrade very often. It was this phone with.
Welcome to the good life, buddy. You'll get it upgraded
I
soon.
still, like, now I have the money, and I'm like, it does what it's supposed to do. What the fuck am I gonna? But it was
status thing, bro.
I guess it's a peacocking thing, but it was a mic that's specifically designed to plug into phones. And that's about it.
Yeah.
That's
it.
Yeah.
It
And
was
also,
a single mic.
It had a high pitched squealing sound,
Which I think was
for
the
3.5 hours. And I know guys that sat through and listened to that whole thing, like our boy Kickboxing Matt.
Salute those guys, Jesus.
Yo, he was like, I listened to it, but
Yeah.
I gotta tell you, Jay, it was pretty hard, man, with that wheeling in my ear for 3.5 hours.
Yeah,
What-
I mean, it sucks. Like, the content was probably, really good.
It was pretty fun, actually.
was
That-
But it just sucks to get turned off by the way that something sounds. you
That
know?
was the spark to like starting this.
Yeah.
Was after we did that, I was like, I think I could do it with this guy. I think we can make a decent product.
Yeah, and you
that
saw how
people would
little it
enjoy.
took to get like a decent sounding thing, as
Well-
far as like getting gear and stuff.
Well, I
you know?
mean, because we had you and Josh helping us out,
Right.
and as far as like doing the legwork on what we need, and also like within our budget, which was pretty high because I was involved. But it was we got a lot. We got a bang for our buck,
Right.
and we're able to put out a good product for everybody. Because honestly, like we were talking about the last episode, we were saying. Like I listen to like a lot of local podcasts now, and that is like the first thing I notice.
Yeah,
So when I
yeah.
turn it on and it sounds like shit,
It's a blessing and a curse.
it
Yeah.
turns me off, man.
Yeah.
I'm just
Yeah.
like, I don't
'Cause
know.
like I
you
said,
know?
the content is probably good, but it's like
Sure.
to try and get past like the way that it sounds. And
I
stuff,
have to
it's
admit
hard
though,
sometimes.
it's disheartening to be somebody. I've managed to take on endeavors that are like considered complicated by some people and learn a skill.
This dude is just
I still got him up there.
He's still looking at us. He's still
but
looking at us.
like I learned how to weld and I learned how to box and all these different things that a lot of people would consider difficult. It was difficult, but like it was clear the path. It was just like putting the work in. Dude, if I tried to look up like things that are relevant to audio engineering and producing video, it's so dense that it's disheartening. It's so dense that like you can spend a pretty significant amount of time reading an article or something and have wasted all of your fucking time because it might not even be relevant to the starting point that you're
Yeah.
looking for. So it takes the wind out of your sails.
I'm used to being remotely decent at something when I try it, and when Matt was showing me how to do things,
You feel like an
I
idiot.
felt like a baby. I
Yeah,
was
you
like,
felt like a baby.
I was like, oh my god, I feel like I'm learning how to walk. I'm frustrated. I'm angry. I want to cry. I want to
Yeah.
suck a titty. I feel like a baby right now.
Yeah, so it's really
But I mean, it's gotten a lot smoother over the last couple
No,
of weeks.
yeah, for sure,
We're
yeah.
getting it a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah,
Every
yeah.
week is getting a little easier.
I'm
Yeah,
proud of the
that's how it
product
is
that we
with
put out.
everything, yeah.
The next
Yeah.
step is Matt teaching me how to edit the bitch.
Yeah, how to figure that
I
out.
don't know if I trust you with
Oh
that.
man.
That's
See,
gonna
but-
that's gonna be an awful lot of phone calls.
Oh yeah, I don't know, man.
But that's the endeavor that you take on. You want to create music. You find an aptitude with an instrument, and that's not the fucking work ain't done.
no,
Now
it's
you got to
never
figure
done, yeah.
out.
Gotta say, I love the boy. He does it every week for us, man. He doesn't, and I try to be as
Become
like
part of
cool.
my routine.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It is kind of, it's part of your routine, but also not for nothing. You kind of do share in the success that what this has become over the last 3 months almost.
All I know is 10 weeks, 11
Yeah.
weeks.
Yeah, so
11
2.5
weeks.
months. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, we went from figuring it out,
Yeah.
figuring out how to stay on topic, how to give a good back and forth and be a team in this, to we're a pretty well-oiled team with this now, and I'm seeing like a couple of our friends like start up podcasts and stuff like that, and they're slowly going to start getting it. And I even just from doing this for like a little while, I'm starting to see like, yeah, it's going to take a little while from build steam, but you start kind of getting it after a while.
We have
and
to keep doing it.
It's just
That's
really
the
nice.
thing, it's consistency. Especially it seems like in this sort of industry, consistency is a huge thing.
I mean,
there's like a lot of people that could do like 50 episodes and then just drop off. And then
For
it's
sure.
like, okay, you just dedicated, 50 episodes of your life, to something.
I would-
Listening to something, rather.
It's the
Then
same thing
like
with
it's over,
music. I mean, you could be grinding it out in a band forever and not get a crack, and then
That's
and then
I've
you-
been there,
most
yeah.
people's story,
but,
right?
But then
Yeah.
he's had like success with some bands and stuff like that, and he's done well. He's traveled and stuff like that. He's gone on tour. People like a lot of
But
people
that was still like tip of the iceberg, for a lot of things.
Yeah, you're only just breaking through the membrane into the realm of being a musician. When you, how old were you when you first got on stage?
My first show, I was 14.
Dude.
14 or 15. Yeah.
Were you
At the Stone Pony.
at the
in
Stone
Asbury
Pony?
Park,
That's
yeah.
a big fucking deal for
Yeah.
a 14-year-old.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
Josh
fun.
played with him at the Stone
Yeah,
Pony
we had
when he
3
was
guitars, yeah.
in Good Night Bravado. Yep.
How terrifying was the first time?
I mean, okay, that
I
was the
threw
first
up.
real show, but I played high school gigs, like 2 high school gigs before that. But
Okay.
the first time I played a high
Well, that
school
helps,
gig,
though.
But the first time I played a high school gig, I was shitting myself.
Oh
like,
my
that
God.
was fucking terrifying.
I can't imagine. I mean, I did stand up while I was in Vegas. I did stand up 3 times.
That has
and
to be the scariest
it's-
thing.
dude, it's
I played in
fucking
a
so
band.
scary.
I fought in front of a couple hundred people in my underwear.
That's scary.
I
as
will
fuck.
hands down do either one of those again.
I
Then
don't
get
know.
on stage and do comedy, because there's something about getting rejected, about being funny, which I'm like, I feel like I'm pretty funny. And it's
It's
like,
a personal stab. You
Yeah.
have nothing to hide behind. you
yeah,
know?
and like if I get on and I bomb, I'm like, I don't know who I am anymore.
Oh, yeah.
It takes away like a piece of who I feel like I am.
I don't know if I was worried about bombing. I think I was more worried about just being up there in the first. Like when I stepped on the stage, it was like a little voice in my head going, "Who the fuck do you think you are?"
Who the fuck is that guy?
Which is way over dramatic because the people that were there were just schmucks eating nachos, having conversations,
Smoking meth right
Yeah,
before they
smoking
go.
meth, and there just
Uh-huh.
so happened to be this asshole on stage who they could or could not pay attention to. It really didn't matter.
But if you can make pieces of shit like that laugh,
yeah, well,
you got something sweeter than you, my friend.
I made some people. You know what I did, man? I did this weird thing, and my friends made fun of me because
They would have made fun of you regardless.
my opening bit that I was working on was basically about how I hated kids who had an idea of what they wanted to be when they grew up and then became that thing. I thought
yeah,
it was
those
so fucking ridiculous.
bastards,
Yeah, that's small children. But the way I opened it, I got on stage and I grabbed the microphone and I said, "Fuck kids." And I don't know if there's a more abrasive, shittier way to start a bit than
It's a way
yelling.
to grab some attention. At
Yeah.
least. Yeah.
But then you've got good luck navigating
Oh,
that
yeah,
attention
no,
that you
climbing out of that
grab.
hole is tough.
And I managed to do it, and the bit went off about as decent as somebody who's on the first mic, their first time on the mic could have gone. But what I really was left with was how fucking debilitating.
It's got to be hard, man.
The
It's
fear
got to be
is-
really hard, yeah.
I on the drive there would shout at myself
Okay.
out loud. I would go, "Motherfucker, you can do this." I don't know why.
Wait,
I'm putting
why
it
are
up.
you yelling at yourself like a black
Hey,
dude?
hey, motherfucker, you can do this shit, man. And that's,
Listen, you white motherfucker.
Listen, you cracker ass. And I would really
That's 'cause
hype myself up.
That's all you hear at your
That's
building.
exactly what it was. But I had to actually like verbally hype myself up and tell myself like, "Bitch, you moved all the way across the country. You can fucking do all types of shit." And
Your
and,
inner monologue being an old black guy's kind of weird, dude.
well, what was even weirder?
What
was,
if mine was like a little Mexican guy?
Hey, man,
Like,
you can do this
"Hey,
shit,
Jay,
man. Jay, come
You
on,
can
man.
do it.
Well, what was even worse is that as I was doing my bits, I seemed to evolve into an angsty,
character.
elderly black man.
There you go.
Is that where you wanted to go with it? Or?
No,
It's just
not
it's
where
just-
I wanted to go.
It's just where my journey
That's
took
just
me.
what's inside me is an
Boy,
elderly.
if you did that
fed up-
now, boy, they would pick it
I don't
outside
think-
of your shows.
What I'll say is people in Vegas, they don't care about anything but like meth and slot machines.
I've been to Vegas and it is it's gross. Dude, this
Yeah.
one I don't know if it was a woman or a man. I think it was a chick. She came up to me and she was like, "Hey, what's up, baby? I got that weed." I was like, "Nah, I'm good. I sent some in the suitcase over here with the luggage." And she's like, I got that ass though." And I was like, "Nah, I'm good on that, man. You know, I got a gal." And then she's like, "And I also got that coke." And I was
now,
like,
wait a
"Damn,
second.
you're a real entrepreneur."
She doesn't. A true salesperson never takes no for an answer.
Not only that, but she knows how to diversify her things.
I like how she was
she's
like,
got
"I'm gonna
the
give him
women,
ass
the
before I
weed,
give him
the
coke."
No, but that's the thing. She also, it wasn't necessarily her ass. She said, "I got gals. I got other gals' ass." So she's obviously in the pimp game. She's obviously in the drug game.
Should ask her for some pictures. Can I see these gals?
Oh, they got cards. You know.
Oh, yeah.
Call
Oh,
Cindy. Cindy comes to the room.
Oh, yeah,
This
that's
is
one of the things
clearly
they have old
Photoshop.
Filipino women viciously pressing
Dave,
cards against
enough
your
on
chest.
the Filipinos. Don't you start on those
We may
fucking
have disparaged an
Filipinos.
entire community of ladyboys. That's another can of worms.
Do you listen to the whole cast when you're doing it? When you're
I skip around.
That's
if
what
I'm
I
being
told-
honest.
No,
I'm
that's
being
what I
No,
told
yeah,
Stephanie.
fuck yeah,
But
skip around.
I did catch the chartreuse.
Oh,
Whatever,
the
which was
chartreuse.
fantastic.
Chartreuse, yeah.
I didn't catch this offensive shit you're talking about.
Well,
right now,
you know,
too.
it's just
This
It's
people
funny,
are-
like bouncing around, you know, between everything and just getting stuff
You-
out of context. Like it makes it
It's
very
just
enjoyable. For
it's
me.
just like a chartreuse board.
Yeah,
Right.
it's fantastic.
Where
Yeah.
you get a little bit of everything, a little meat, a little cheese, in a charcuterie
well, no,
board.
That's
Yeah, that was
gotta
good
go
stuff.
ahead and
you
change the
could
name
have
now.
just used. You could have just said a cheese.
I like
plate.
how Matt's saying that was good stuff. Matt, that was entirely unintentional, and I am a fucking idiot, and somehow thought that it was called a chartreuse board. And
That's
I went
like
about a
cute
week saying
green
that.
color,
there's
and
nothing
you
wrong
were
with
just
it.
telling your wife you're gonna wine her and dine her all week with
Well,
this puke green
please.
cheese tray.
I don't want to harp on my shortcomings. What I do want to say is how.
You know, the only way to properly
No.
set the mood
All right, all right.
Not gonna
with
say it now.
There we
with
go.
with a date night with the wife and a lovely chartreuse board is she makes candles.
Can she make
She makes candles.
a chartreuse scented can? That'd be a
No,
rough
she doesn't
one.
want to make a throw up smell.
No,
doesn't want to do
it's
that.
not
She's in the
throw-up
business
smell,
of
all right?
making money.
It's fermented meats. It's things that have been
How
dead
good?
for.
How good was that product placement though?
It was good.
It was
When you
just
open
so-
that, I got a whiff of it.
Yeah,
That's
and this one
good.
smells.
Oh,
I
man.
think this
Oof.
one smells the best.
That's what we do for the girls.
Leave that right there.
Yeah.
But when this whole virus hit, right? Don't fucking. Can
you
you
know
put
what? I'll
that
put it
back?
back.
Thank you. There you go.
She makes candles. She also has her candles on top of my Goku.
There you go. When you were, how did Corona affect the whole process? Because I imagine that you were, doing shows, working on making music, and now Corona's put a whole halt on the ability to do anything live. Live performances are just done. Have you guys figured out a way around that? Or are you just waiting it out? Like what?
Yeah, I mean we've kind of dabbled around with different ideas and stuff between both bands, but I don't know. We've always just been having that live presence of people being around. That makes the show what it is.
Sure.
So we're kind of waiting. I guess.
What else can you do?
I mean, it's really hard to say.
What are the other options? It's do fucking.
You could
Zoom.
create.
Yeah, I mean that's what I've been doing, with both bands. I released stuff with Tidal Gloom a couple weeks ago. My new band, Funeral Fires, we actually had time to, finish everything with that band. We started that band in 2016, and
Okay.
it's like a side project between me and a couple other guys, and we just never had the time to do anything with it. But now, because of us being locked down, we had the time to kind of gather everything.
Sure.
Be able to release everything. So that was one positive about it, I guess you can say. But yeah, not being able to play shows sucks.
Yeah.
But
Because I can't imagine how fun that is.
it's I mean that's really why I do it.
It's a blast, man. Doing anything live, I was able to play in a band and stuff like that, even fighting and everything like that. When you got I imagine stand-up comedy is the exact same thing. Once you kind of got
Yeah, when you
dialed
kill
in
it,
a
you
live
kill it.
audience,
Yeah, that
and
energy
you just
that you
feed off
pick
that
up.
energy, and there's nothing better than when you put something out and it's reciprocated well,
Yeah.
or received well rather.
Right.
It's just
No, it's a great
It's
feeling,
a
for
great
sure, yeah.
feeling, man.
Mhm.
It's kind of like that feeling, maybe I always needed it. My mom leaving, and maybe I just wasn't good enough at anything, and
Right.
no matter how hard I try,
Right. I do. It's a weird formula, right? You're like creating sound, and the sound is going into the audience, and the audience is fucking sending you energy back, and it's this weird, like, cyclical, reciprocative kind of an action that's happening. And I don't think yeah, I've never experienced anything like that. Like,
well, I mean, you kind of did in front of those 5 meth addicts.
No, I didn't. I didn't crush at all.
You just feel.
I made them
you
laugh.
You feel their
yeah. I felt it. I felt their eyes staring at me, wondering how much money I had in my pockets.
Their dilated pupils. Just.
They're like, he's not a big guy. We could eat him legs first. Yeah, I remember that. I do remember
take
that
him to
feeling.
the tunnels.
But there's got. I mean, that has to be a bummer, right? Because it's like that's. I would imagine the big fucking the big moment is performing on stage. The biggest energy that you're going to receive, the biggest feeling that you're going to have is going to be when you're performing on stage. Sure, when it does well, you see downloads, when you see views and stuff like that, it feels good, but probably nothing feels as good as having a bunch of screaming maniacs.
Oh, sorry.
Wait, no, wait.
You were saying?
A bunch of screaming maniacs beating your dick. No. But that's got to feel the best, and they just kind of pulled the fucking plug on that. And it makes you wonder, like, how are we going to get back to a place where that's ever going to be?
I don't know what's more of a bummer, my mom leaving me, or you talking about the...
Well, I want to harp on about the bummers. You know what I mean? I really want to go...
We're really riding a bummer train
I want to
right
drive
now.
that home. I want to kind of provoke emotion from the audience. I'd like for Matt to cry if he could, if
I'd
it's in you.
love
It's
to
not
see
gonna happen.
Matt cry.
That's
Let's
a
get
tough
him
one.
a couple more beers. And maybe a Percocet.
It's fucking hard, man. It's really fucking hard.
You know, yo, I know you've done a couple of these where you go on like radio stations and shit like that. What's the difference between this and then doing something like that?
Don't ask that. He's got to be nice. Go tell us if we're fucking
You could cut those guys deep. You don't fucking know those
Well,
guys
this
anymore.
is
I'll
the
fuck them up.
This is the first time that I've ever done one that's not like related to music.
That's
You
true.
know, every like podcast or like radio interview or whatever, it's always been because of a band that I was in or
Yeah.
you know something relating to
Yeah.
that. So, yeah, that's what makes this different.
We're just gonna let you be yourself.
That's
you know?
all.
Now tell me
Whatever
what you
you
think
wanna
about the
talk
Hispanic community.
Right.
Oh, well,
No,
How
I'm
do you
just
feel about that?
They need to pull themselves up by their bootstraps and just rebuild Puerto Rico.
Oh, how dare you? Puerto Rico is a beautiful place. I've never been to Puerto Rico. I've never been fucking anywhere.
I've been a PR.
Have you?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you're part Puerto Rican.
Yeah, that's the only reason I could say shit about Puerto Ricans. Is
Yeah,
like,
it's 'cause
I'll go
you're
in
actually
hard in
allowed
the pain
to.
on my people.
Yeah,
it's completely okay.
I
you know
hear
what'd be
Puerto
funny
Rico's
if a bunch
beautiful.
of Puerto Ricans tried to like cancel us because they're like, he's a half breed.
I've never heard Puerto Ricans try to cancel anything. They just
Nah,
seem like
they're
they've got a
pretty-
fucking beautiful tropical island and everything's good. Like,
Yeah, no, they got a pretty good deal over there. They're
how was
hanging.
Puerto Rico when you went?
It was nice, man. We lived like up a mountain, so we had to like drive up a mountain.
What, your
to get to-
family?
Yeah, we're not just because you live in Puerto Rico doesn't mean you live by the beach. The beach was like almost 3 hours away.
Sure, but I had no idea your family lived in Puerto Rico.
Yeah, we're like a mountain people. So we
Sure.
have like
Makes sense.
coffee fields and like orange and like avocado plants.
Wait,
on
wait.
it.
Who works these coffee fields?
The Haitians. No, I'm just kidding. No. No.
Oh,
we
no.
get fellow Puerto Ricans.
Right.
Yeah.
That you pay a fair wage.
Not too fair.
Not too fair. Yeah, I
and,
imagine
and
that there's-
all the shack they could live in the back.
There you go.
And
all the
maybe we'll just
coconuts
get
they can hack
one
open.
to live in the house.
Oh, shit. Wait a second. Yeah, man.
No, it's nice there, man. I got to see a little bit of, I guess, my culture, you know, because
Sure.
I'm always thinking I'm a white guy. I feel like I'm a white guy.
Yes, yeah.
Because that's kind of how I was brought up. Like, even by my own kind of people, like, I felt they didn't really want me.
Right.
As a fucking Puerto
I don't
Rican.
really blame
They
them.
were like, no. We got enough,
That's
guys.
how I felt the same way.
Don't worry.
Matt, what are you? You seem incredibly Polish. What are
Oh
you?
yeah, that's.
He's
exactly,
bilingual.
Yeah.
He's bilingual.
You speak
I
Say-
do speak Polish. Yeah.
Say welcome to Dave and Jay versus the world in Polish.
You don't have to.
Yeah, that's too much.
You piece of shit. God damn it.
You know
that's
what, man?
it. Podcast is over.
There is a disparity between you guys and me in that, like, my musical
Taller.
No,
I'm sorry.
that's
I just
not.
I just
where-
thought that's what you were
No,
going to say.
no.
That
I could
you're
see.
shorter
I
than
really
we are.
would appreciate
Okay.
if you didn't say that anymore.
Can you dunk on like a
I can't
7-foot rim?
fucking dunk at all.
You know,
Jay.
on like the
Don't ask
adjustable
questions that
Can
you know the answer
Can you
to.
dunk on a 7.5?
I mean, definitely. You can.
Whoa, that's not definitely.
I got a pretty good
7.5?
vertical.
What's 7.5?
What is
dude?
he? 5'3"? 5'4"?
Hey, man, I'm not a fucking gremlin.
sorry,
I'm a
but
full-grown man.
Your vertical reach is definitely more than
I mean, yeah, it's gotta be. I could
It's
slap
not more
the
than
ceiling.
7.5, but when you jump, it's more than 7.5.
Yeah, I could slap the ceiling. What's
I'm
the ceiling?
impressed.
What do
Wait,
think
can
this-
you do it with 2 hands or one?
Probably, but I don't want to do it because I'll put fucking palm holes in your ceiling. Like, that would really
How
put a
tall are
bummer
these
on
ceilings?
things.
7 foot, 8 foot.
Yeah,
ceiling?
so I
don't
could
know if
jump
you
up
could
and touch that.
That's impressive.
I don't know how the fuck we got on my height, all right?
I'm
And I'd
sorry.
appreciate it if we pulled away from that.
Sorry.
What I was saying is that the real disparity.
I'm a heightist.
No. And a classist. I never hear the end of that.
Sorry.
But the disparity that I'm talking about, the particular one that I'm describing,
Go ahead.
is musical knowledge. And to be honest, I've talked about it in prior podcasts. I was actually turned off because I was into hip hop, and then I moved to a different area, made new friends, changed my musical interests, and started to get into rock and punk rock and things like that. And what I discovered very quickly is that it's especially when you're a younger person, it's a competition. It's a competition on the level of obscurity the bands that you're interested are in.
You were
are
saying
at that
this
level.
before. The more obscure the music, the cooler you are.
Well, yeah, definitely in the 2000s.
Oh, yeah.
100%.
It's not like
that
wouldn't-
anymore?
No, not really.
You were a scenist.
I mean, I guess, I'm
Yeah, it was a scene, right?
No,
that
yeah,
was the
that's-
term.
yeah.
It was a big scene.
Yeah, but
You weren't a part of that scene?
No. I wanted
dude.
to be, and
You-
then somebody
you
was
missed-
just like I liked
missed
Anthrax and Rancid and things like that. And
You
those
wouldn't
were
have been allowed in the scene
Yeah,
if you were
yeah.
coming in
Not
with an
scene music.
Anthrax.
yeah. Those were two.
They would have said, "Get the fuck
Mainstream?
out of here."
I liked.
They wouldn't even let you in the show.
A couple of people. Black Flag. Everybody that I liked was past their prime. Number one, it was like their
Honestly-
old shit was better, which really made me want to kill myself. I was very upset that every time I liked somebody, it was like, well,
Yeah,
they're
just
past their
missed
prime.
it,
I
guy.
just missed the
Yeah.
boat.
Well, now it's cool to like older music like Black Flag, Bad Brains, that older Minor Threat. It's cooler. But when we were younger and you were coming into the scene with like liking that music, you were either a punk rock guy or you were a scene kid. You really didn't kind of mix,
Yeah, not so much back then.
not too much
yeah.
back then. But now you see guys, they'll have a System of a Down.
Yeah, I mean, it
shirt
doesn't matter.
And
I
go to
mean-
like a Taking Back Sunday thing.
Right, but it
it's
did.
okay.
It did used to matter. It
Yeah,
mattered in
yeah.
like a
But now
pretty
everyone
significant.
grew
Now
up.
it's all
Yeah,
about the
everybody grew up.
cold hard cash and selling those tickets.
It turned me off
Come in
so
with
much
the
that I
shittiest
stopped.
shirt you want.
What the fuck is crust punk?
That's
It's just like that shit you hear in basements, just fucking.
Yeah.
And
oi,
they don't
oi.
shower.
That's where I got to. I spent some
Crust
time
punk.
in a couple of Red Bank basements
Yep.
watching shows that everybody was like, this is awesome, dude. And I was like, this is terrible.
Yeah,
And
it's
there's
like
that
30-second songs, fucking.
There's that one girl that everybody makes out with.
Yeah, I almost
Been
dated her.
there.
I almost dated her. And then I was
I
at
married her.
I was at a,
Oh no, we'll edit that out.
Just,
I
I love you,
edited that, edit
baby.
that.
I'm just joking.
I was at a pizza
we
place.
tell jokes.
She wasn't around this day. I was at a pizza place, and like a plethora of dudes happened to bring up her name, and I didn't say anything. I just listened. I was like, all right, because I was on the verge of dating this chick, and very quickly into the conversation, somebody went, did you fuck her in the ass? Because I fucked her in the ass. She loves getting fucked in the ass. And like 4 other dudes were like, yeah, I fucked her in the ass. She does love getting fucked in the ass. And I was like,
Dave, this is a children's show.
yeah.
So please refrain from using disgusting, vulgar language like that.
well-
I have my mother-in-law listens to
Yeah,
this.
and my
and
deepest...
your mom listens, and that's
She
okay
does. This is-
because
no, don't.
everybody in the park listens to Howard Stern.
My mother owns 2 houses, sir. All right, she
Good
is
for her. They give that many on people on Section 8. Huh?
fucking dare you. But there was there certainly was this like level of fucking obscurity that really turned me off to the point where I kind of like threw the towel in because I never got into music to compete. How did you?
I did.
Yeah, you had to really be in it to stick with
Everything
it.
was when they say it's not a competition, it's a competition.
I don't understand it.
I don't know. I like being, if you're not first, you're last.
Yeah, I mean, competition is good because it drives you to be better, at the end of the day. So I always went into it being like, oh, I want to be the best band. It wasn't like anything personal against anybody else, any other band. But it's like, if you go into a room with that attitude, it's kind of going to show a little bit.
I
Right.
like that.
And you want to have
Yeah.
confidence when you're on stage and you're in like a rock band.
And we're going to fucking bring it.
That's
way
what I'm saying.
harder
Yeah,
than
spinning
that
fucking
other.
guitars jumping off of amps and shit. Like,
Dude,
you
it's
you
just
go in
about
there with that kind of
bringing
attitude.
it.
That's what people wanted to see. That's what
So-
people,
So it's not necessarily being the best band, but it's just tonight we're going to be the best band. You
Right.
know, we're going to be the best live
People
band that you've
yes,
seen.
in this lineup.
And I like that
Yeah.
you have that mentality. And I think people who do well in anything kind of have that mentality of like, I don't want to lose. I don't want to lose practice, you know, whether it be sparring or, you know, going over like, you know, your set and stuff like that. I don't want to go like flawless. I don't want to lose in that. I don't want to lose playing live. It's just the thing of, yeah, it's just about being as good as you could be, and it's not necessarily for anybody. It's more for yourself, you know. When you have a drive like that, that creates like success. At least like success on our level, because none of us are Rogan, you know. We don't. But as far as like people like within our circle and people we know, I feel like we're fairly successful people. We do things, we set goals. You know, we accomplish those goals.
Right, you do them for the love of the thing, too.
Yeah.
You know what
and
I mean?
I mean, everybody knows, like, those people who are stagnant, not doing shit.
Yeah.
You know, or those people that talk a lot of shit, but nobody does anything.
I don't know
Because
how.
I used to be that guy,
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
I used to talk a lot of shit and not do anything. I used to be that fat, drunk fuck on the couch.
Yep.
And just going, why don't you
Samesies.
just get up, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Watching UFC, and it's like,
Why don't you just get up? Just get the fuck on
Why
your
doesn't
feet,
that
bro.
guy just get up?
Why doesn't he just knock him out? Why don't know what the fuck is going on?
What is up with this grappling shit?
Yeah.
Yeah, I used to be that guy, and I always told myself I could do this. I could do this. And when I like got sober, that was the first thing, man. I was just like, I gotta do this. This has to be like my thing. I gotta start doing this. And like, it's that whole surround yourself with other driving, successful people. Because like I had Steph, and Steph got into like the CrossFit thing and everything. And then like I'd start seeing like, you know, Matt was doing good with the band, and like I would keep on him and watch like Goodnight Bravado, and they were doing good and going. And I'm like, well, I'm just doing nothing.
Just
I
sitting
gotta
here.
fucking do something, you know. I
Pulling
gotta
on
make
your
something
dick, yeah.
happen.
Well, that's
Pulling on-
interesting.
pulling
'cause
on my dick.
What I was gonna say is, unlike fighting, being in a band is like not entirely predicated, but like so much of the ability to move forward is dependent upon other bandmates, which is other fucking dudes who like to party, who, you know.
You got to get everybody on the same page.
That's
dude.
gotta be
And
so
that's
hard,
not easy.
dude.
And he's the wrangler. That's what I hear.
You're the wrangler?
I hear from Josh. They're like, yo, Matt is the guy that corrals everybody together. He makes sure everybody's at the because there's got to be that guy in the band that makes sure that everybody is like, all right, you got to come here, you got to come here. It's this time, it's this place. There's just got to be one of those guys. I remember playing with Josh, and he was that guy. You know, he took care of all that shit.
And what does that? Just past experience of watching bands fall the fuck apart because schmucks don't want to show up to practice?
Yeah, I've gone through so many band members in so many different bands. You know, prior to being in Tidal Gloom, the band now that, you know, it's more or less, you know, me and Rich kind of started it, you know, as like a 2-person project. You know, keeping as little hands out of the, you know, as many hands out of the cookie jar.
Yeah,
as,
that's a
as
smart
possible.
move, though.
Yeah, just because like the last band I was in, there were so many hands in the cookie jar, and like, you know, a lot of personal stuff got in the way, you know, because of that, you know, and it's just, that's not the way to do it. You know, it should be all about the music, you know. If it's one person kind of taking care of all the bullshit, you know, like that just makes it easier for other people to be creative, you know.
Sure.
That's the way that I feel, so.
Juggling those personalities, though, makes musical endeavors kind of several levels more difficult than other endeavors because of that, because there's so many other endeavors that don't really rely on another person. If you want to go and seek something out and pull something off, you do it on your own.
This is kind of like that. I mean, I got to rely on you. We kind of have our set schedule and stuff like that.
Yeah, but...
So this is like a tag team thing. I can only imagine how much harder it's got to be when you got 5 guys.
Yeah, that's what
gotta
I was
do
just
that
about to
with-
say. Imagine we had a bunch of other people involved in this situation, you know, and then we had to wait and I mean, even at the very minimum, conflicting schedules. It could be... it doesn't have to be a nefarious thing like such and such is lazy, such and such always wants to give. It could just be they have a life.
Well, I mean, yeah, especially once you get older, you know, like I started playing music in bands when I was 14, you know,
Right.
so for a long time until where I am right now, you know, it's like you didn't really have to worry about, you know, adult shit, you know, having to pay rent, you know, you're living with your parents, like the only thing you need to worry about
are
is
the
having
days.
some money for fast food,
That's
you
it.
know, and gas money for,
That
you
was
know, your
such a
buddy
good
or something.
time, bro.
Yeah,
That was
yeah,
such
so
a
it was
good
easier
time.
being in a band and wrangling people together back then.
Yeah.
you know,
Matt
but
was
now
always
it's
our
like-
designated drunk driver. dude.
Wait,
He
I don't
was
think
always-
that's how that.
I'm just saying,
That's
boy,
not
can
the-
that guy drive hammers.
There you go. It takes practice, though.
So
it takes
good.
practice.
We'd all be like, hey, man, I'm due. And Matt's like, oh, get it.
I got this shit.
White
That's
Castle.
that confidence.
Always
ride
White Castle,
Yeah, get a little briefcase full of burgers.
I'll never forget it. We got there one time and Matt was just like, I don't feel like having burgers. I was like, how about some chicken rings? He's like, that's what I'm talking
Nothing
about.
wrong with chicken rings.
Whatever happened to that one place we used to go to in Kenilworth?
Oh, that closed down 10th Street Live.
Shit,
yeah.
man. That place was
cool.
so fun.
Yeah, but then, a bunch of people that shouldn't have been there started going there, and then people started fighting, and it's just closed
Really?
down. Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
people started, like, fish fighting
Yeah,
there?
people were coming up from, like, the shore, people that were, like, ready, like, to go to a club or something.
Guidos?
It's like,
Is that?
Yeah,
are
that's
you
kinda
disparaging the Italian
are you
community?
telling me, like, a larger Italian-ishy
Right.
Sicilians?
Right. With a certain type of haircut. All right.
and that kind of killed that place, just having,
That
people
sucks.
not from the area there. Because it was, like, a cool place where you go, hang out with
Locals,
people.
yeah.
Locals, exactly. You go, you have open mic and all that.
And
but-
it was more like you don't want to like say softer, but more like the artsy crowd.
Okay.
A lot of
Yeah,
the guys did like music and
Sure.
played music and wrote things, and then you would have that style of girl go, kind of like the pretty kind of.
Scene
probably
girls?
wears like airy bras,
Right.
You know,
Yeah,
that
airy,
kind
yeah, I
of
remember
gal.
airy, yeah.
You know, the Eagle.
American Eagle, yeah,
like
okay.
that style
Sure.
of gal would go to that bar, maybe has a little rib piece tattoo.
Sure.
That's
sure.
the kind, and the guys were all kind of like they play some side music and stuff, and they worked in the kind of an arty thing. That's the kind of crew that was there.
Yeah, this is
And-
probably like 6-7 years ago too.
yeah,
at
and
this
then
point.
like I guess when why is it that those motherfuckers when they start moving in places, it's just like why do you guys gotta
It's like
fight?
a form of gentrification.
Why do you guys gotta
they
fight?
gotta fight. Oh.
Why do you
Well,
guys-
those people were fine. It was all the dudes from like that came from down by
Italy.
the shore.
Yeah.
All those dudes from the boot. Yeah, it's
No,
it's
just I mean, if you go to
Why is it
if
that
you go
style
somewhere-
of dude always fucks things up?
What year? What era was this? What?
Yeah,
what-
probably like 2015, 14.
Okay.
Where
Alright.
when it was like the most pop in 2016, probably
Sure.
the latest. But yeah, I don't know if you show up to a place wanting to fight, that's you're
Hey,
you're
is
not-
that
you're
guy
not
looking
setting
at
up
me?
That's a weird
I'm gonna
move.
kick his
I mean,
fucking
yeah.
ass. Be
That's
like,
a weird move to go
Yeah.
to some place.
Why don't
and
you leave him alone and let him just have a good time? He's
Yeah.
looking at you, but he's not looking like.
You're going out for a good night, and you're in the back of your mind thinking, "Hey, what if we just really ruin this?"
No,
Yeah,
they're
that's
thinking
what
like
I feel
this.
People
like-
think sometimes.
Yeah,
They're putting on
really.
their white pants, their white jeans.
Yes.
They're putting on their rhinestone shirts.
I could see you in a white jeans,
Eh,
rhinestone shirt.
Watch him out,
I'm not
sweetheart.
mad at that.
Never,
I'm not mad at
ever.
that. Little
Maybe
bit.
an affliction shirt,
Yeah,
and then
yeah.
they go there and they're just looking to fuck and fuck dudes up.
Yeah, fucking
Yeah.
fight.
Why? Just chill, bro.
I don't know. I think
if you
that's-
want to fight, why don't you go to a fight club?
It's a detachment. It's because there's not been enough
No, because-
structured violence in
Oh,
your life, and so
no,
you
a
have
lot
a
of the-
disillusion about it.
I feel a lot of those guys are the same kind of guys. They want to fight and do all that when they get a couple drinks in them.
Yeah.
And it takes them some liquid courage
Yeah.
in order to get into something like that. Whereas, like, if we were sober and some gentleman, for whatever reason, like, pull over, let's fight. Okay. Sure you want to do that?
Are you sure you wanna do
'Cause
that?
I'm okay with this. I'm completely fine with
I-
fighting sober, and I don't need to smack myself in the face to get started,
Right.
you know? And,
Slap the
and those
thighs.
guys got to get going, you know? They got to get mad at you to fight you. Whereas,
I-
like, anybody in, like, my field, it's just, we could just fight.
Those
And
dudes
then
are
if you want to hang out after that, we could do that, too.
they're a real plague though. Like I remember going to the Jersey Shore
Like
as
locusts with hairspray.
yes, locusts with hair. I remember going with my girlfriend. We were like fucking 15 years old, and we walked past a bar and a bunch of I do hate saying it over again, but
You know-
a bunch of Italian men, young Italian men.
You know what? Fortunately, I think we could talk about them.
I think
I
they're
don't
still
think
safe.
there's
I
a
think they're
big
still safe.
movement, you know?
But it's American Italian.
Yes,
or Italian
yes,
American.
more
I
specific, or
wouldn't
maybe
say
even more
Italian,
specifically,
yeah.
New Jersey, the tri-state area.
North
yeah.
Tri-state area.
Jerseys. North Jerseyans.
Most of them aren't even Italian. Like
I know.
Yeah.
Snooki was Hispanic
Snooki,
and adopted.
she's like a Cuban or some shit like that.
not even close.
But yeah,
I
man,
know.
I was walking by this bar with my girlfriend on the boardwalk with a couple of young kids, 15-year-olds, and these fucking dudes in fucking tank tops start yelling at my girlfriend like, "Hey, fuck that dude, come over here with us." And I'm 15 and they're damn near 30.
They're full-on adults.
And they're shit-faced, and I've just got my girl by her hand, and she's looking at me like, "You're gonna say something, you
I don't
punk-ass
have a
bitch?"
gun on me, honey.
And I
I'm
was
not gonna
like,
say anything.
Nope, let's just walk a little faster, please. Would you mind speeding it up a little bit?" And but that was constant. Like going to the Jersey Shore was risking combat What a fucking bizarre scenario.
Well, back then, I used to go to Seaside every once in a while, but like, I would go blasted on ecstasy. So I never got into a fight with anybody. I was always a pretty fun guy. I was always like
That'll do
really
it.
happy. I had sunglasses on. I was doing
Yeah.
my own thing.
Yeah.
Just
chilling.
Just on cloud nine,
Yeah.
bro. When you could get real ecstasy. Now everything's
Yeah.
got fentanyl and it'll kill you.
I remember there was an era where it was and shout out to my
I remember. Wait, I'm sorry.
Go ahead,
I
go
remember one time I was doing it frequently when Matt got involved and he was like, "Hey, Jay,
We need to chill out a little bit.
maybe
dog.
this weekend let's not do ecstasy all week."
It seems like Matt's the response. He's wrangling the band members. He's the designated driver. He's got to reel you in from your ecstasy addiction.
he was just like, "Jay, maybe you're going a little too
Some
hard."
people-
And the thing is, like, Steph is like, "You're doing way too much,"
Yeah,
and
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like, "Fuck you." I
And Matt
can-
comes in, and when Matt comes in, you go, okay,
I'm like,
maybe there's
"Oh
something
boy,
really good.
if like a friend is
Matt's an
telling
old
you need
soul.
to-
That's what that is. He's an old
If
soul.
a buddy's telling you you gotta lighten up on the drugs, who also
Yeah.
does drugs,
When somebody
yeah,
who's not
I'm
fucking
with
you
you.
steps in and goes,
you may be doing too much
you might
drugs.
be doing too much. There was an era where there was a lot of triple stack G's up, hose down. And
Incredible Hulks,
sunflowers, yellow
sunflowers,
dolphins, red apples. There was a whole
Good
gang
times.
of shit going on.
Good times.
And yeah, I went also through a heavy. So it's nice to think that
We were
even
so
though we weren't,
simpatico.
yeah, we right parallel to each other at
We're
the
like
same time.
brothers.
That's what's going on.
We really
the ecstasy
are.
bound us.
My
our
dad
souls.
probably banged your mom.
Now,
You
now
might
that's
be-
not. Hey, goddamn it, man! I don't like how that's a.
I'm sorry. I thought maybe.
Wait,
right
no.
in the middle of this beautiful moment.
Wait a second here. But yeah, man, that was that's kind of another thing too. Is drugs are associated so much in the band scene. You know what I mean? Like
They
it's,
used to. They used to be like, you're thinking like 80s, 90s, so cocaine,
Sure.
heroin. When I was growing up, it was pretty. There was a lot of straight edge people. But there was some that party rock shit that started coming in. Those guys used to fucking drink. Those were some
It
pretty
was really cocaine was really the only thing, like, the last like
sweet.
20 years.
And that's because it was
And
effective.
everyone
Cocaine.
smokes weed, so it's
Yeah.
not even a drug.
Yeah, when I tell people like I'm sober now, so they go, "Oh, like what do you just smoke weed?" No, I don't do
that's
that.
how. Isn't
That-
it weird how much it's changed? Right? It's like
Oh,
you used to
I used to be an animal, dude.
Yeah.
And then now I'm like, people. It's just funny how when you tell somebody you're sober, you don't. I don't tell people like
You
I'm
do.
not that weird
That's
asshole.
what Jay does. When you introduce Jay to people and he
Hi,
shakes
I'm
their hand, he goes,
Jay.
"Hey, I'm Jay. I'm sober."
I'm sober.
And then
Nice
he waits
meet
for you to say, "Hi, Jay," and he gets feels a little weird when you don't do it back. But
yeah. So I kind of like do my own thing, and people will be drinking. They're like, "Oh, you're not gonna drink?" I'm like, "Nah, I'm good." And they're like, "Oh, no, good." I'm like, "Nah, I don't drink."
Yeah.
And then they go, "Oh, okay. You smoke weed?" Nope, don't do that either.
I feel like
That's weird. I'm like, is it?
yeah, I mean, yeah. In this day and age, it's in the past like 5 or 6 years, it's like flipped on its head. How many people that are respectable members of the community,
Yeah.
who are just
Do a little recreational
Yeah.
smoke, man.
Yeah, it
Dude,
wasn't like that fucking
me-
5-6 years ago.
Me and Matt were animals. Like he knew me when I was a bad dude, just a
Not
fucking
the best.
beast.
Not the best.
I was a rough and tumble, just drugging, fighting, drinking,
Something
just
about-
an animal. And then I went from that to a fucking house cat. It's like
yeah, no,
every
it's kind of crazy actually.
it went from like being
Came a long
so intense to like now it's
Yeah.
I like my milk brought
Right.
to me in a saucer,
Yeah.
because before they would go, if somebody was like, "Jay, you're gonna go to jail for a month," I'm like, "Pfft, what's a month?"
That ain't shit.
Now if they were like going to jail for a month, I'm like, "I need my CBD oil.
Somebody got me down. Somebody rubbed my
I'm having a
shoulders.
fucking heart attack."
Yeah.
It would scare the piss out of me to have to go back, and it's just like now I understand like losing stuff. Now I have stuff to lose. 'cause
Yeah,
I-
that's the thing. You have stuff to lose now.
See, I was a dangerous guy who had nothing to lose. Even like, remember when you were younger, you're like, "I'll do whatever the fuck I want." And now it's like, whoa, I got rent coming up. I got, So it's crazy how,
It all flips.
all these people that they known you for years, and then you change and you grow up and you mature and everything like that. And gotta say, We lost a couple guys along the way.
That's what I was just thinking.
I'm gonna bet. I thought I was gonna die. Not shitting you.
Hearing
like,
the stories, I'm kind of surprised you made it.
I'm
You would always
surprised.
black out before you got too far with anything.
That's a defense mechanism.
It is. I would
That's
say
his body
so,
being
yeah.
like, we gotta
He
shut
would
down.
shut down, piss himself, and then you wouldn't see him for fucking 16 hours.
Shut the machine down.
Yeah, yes.
So I never
then
worried about
piss.
Jay because he would just black out before anything.
And piss myself.
That's
Dude, I knew it was time to quit drinking. That last week was bad. I went on a real big binger, didn't come home, and that was like the first time I didn't come home, and I was like, ooh, this is bad. And then 3 times before that, I pissed myself
3
that
times
week.
in a row.
So
Boom,
you're
boom, boom.
talking like Tuesday, piss, Wednesday, piss.
right.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday,
Yeah.
piss.
Now it feels-
Friday, didn't come home, pissed that night. Dude, and then I'll never forget it. Me and Stephanie went to go get some burgers, and we were in New Brunswick at BurgerFi, and I told her, I was like, I quit, dude. And she was like, I heard that before, Jay. And I looked at her face, and I could see she was like pale and crying all night and sad. And I told her, I said, no, you don't get it. I know my addiction is going to kill me, but it's killing you. I see that my
Wow.
addiction is
That's
killing
really
you.
sweet, Jay.
And I told her, I was like, that's it. I'm fucking done.
Yeah.
And that's it.
And that was all she
I
wrote.
just fucking quit cold turkey. And people were trying. I remember that first year because you're still figuring out sobriety and shit. They were like, oh, why don't you go to a meeting? And I was just like, no fucking
Did
way.
you ever go to any meetings?
Never.
No?
Never. I was just like, I'm not fucking
So your
doing it.
advice to anybody who's struggling with addiction would be just fucking
Kill
stop.
yourself.
Just,
No, I'm saying-
just- it's way easier. Just fucking jump off something real tall.
You know what I think it is? I think it's the same thing for Matt too. Because if he stopped doing something, he's got a personality that there are just people with personalities that they need to do something. You know what I'm saying?
They have
Like,
to aim the energy somewhere.
Yeah, they need to like direct the ship in some direction.
So if Matt wasn't a
if he
musician, he'd be a
doing
meth
music,
addict?
Yeah.
he'd either be a meth addict. I was gonna think maybe like big into like, indoor biking or something
Quaaludes?
like that.
Oh,
What the
oh.
fuck
Yeah,
is
lewds.
indoor biking?
And what is
Spin
it?
class.
Spin classes. All right, I can see that.
Because he's just got that kind of personality. You got the same thing. My brother, even like Stefan, a lot of people that I know, they got that kind of
Well, if I
personality.
don't do things, I get super sad.
But I also know guys that don't do shit. And I'm like,
but they're also, you know, people that don't do shit and they're like fucking okay with it.
no, my boy
I know that
Doug
dude.
is completely.
Well, I mean, we can name some
Shout
people
out
that
to
are.
Doug.
Shout out to Dougie.
But I do know people that don't do shit, and like my buddy, he doesn't do much. He
They all look like they don't.
well, hey, don't now. Damn it.
All kind of gross.
By the way, my friends did make fun of me the other day. It wasn't really make fun of me. It was kind of like
they made fun of
They
you.
peeked behind. They let me see behind the curtain where it was like they said something to
They
me.
opened their snack drawer.
No, no, you disrespectful son of a bitch. And they said, my buddy said something, and his wife interrupted, and she's like, "Babe, don't say that. You know he's just gonna use it for material for his podcast." And it's gotten to the point we're like, yeah, everything is material for the podcast.
Oh,
now.
I gotta keep that journal with me at all
Yeah,
times.
I write down. It's worse than somebody I think who takes pictures of the moment. Remember we talked about that? It's like
Yeah.
just live the moment. Don't fucking
Yeah.
take pictures. I'm a hypocrite. I'm 10 times worse than that because instead of taking pictures, I'm writing it down and then divulging all the information to random strangers on the fucking internet for brownie
Other
points.
people's entertainment.
How that's a different level of I don't know.
Well, yeah, no, you're a piece of shit. We
Right. That's
established
where it goes. Those are the type of things that make me believe that. You know,
So a couple days ago, I gave my homeboy over here some dummies. Gave him 2 25-pound dumbbells.
oh, okay.
Because he hits me
Starting
up.
to get
He's like,
started, you know?
yeah,
Yeah,
How's it
nothing wrong
going?
with that. You
know.
can fuck
Are you
yourself
staying
up
with
with some
it?
25-pound dumbbells.
You better be staying with it.
Yeah, not bad.
Don't you high voice me, motherfucker.
It's okay.
It's okay.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
We went rock climbing, and I know Matt was into it for a
Yeah,
while.
no,
he
it
was
was,
climbing.
yeah. Oh,
Dude,
that's
that is
cool.
a
Yeah,
motherfucking exercise.
Hell yeah, dude.
It burns
Yeah.
your fingers out like
Lats.
nothing else.
Yeah.
And whatever this is, it burns it.
Forearms.
It's
Yeah. Dick.
for your forearms.
Rock climbing is great, man.
Dude, it's a
Yeah.
lot of fun. It's really satisfying.
Do you guys want to all go together?
I do, yeah.
Have
dude,
a
that
bro
would be
day?
great.
I was asking you about it when you posted about it.
I would love
Let's
to
do
do
it.
that.
I didn't know it was
Yeah,
open.
yeah,
It's one of the
let's
few
go.
places that's fucking open right
Yeah.
now. Yeah, we
Yeah,
should
it is.
totally do that. That would be
Let's
great.
go in like the next
Hey, let's
like
not
2 weeks
leave.
after.
in a half an hour.
Yo, that's all the climbing I had in me, bro. My fingers, I got monkey grip.
You
they
gotta
just
wait
went like
for them.
this.
Oh, man.
They
And
give you
my
a 2-hour
arms-
pass. And Jay's like,
I
half
did
an
it.
hour? Let's go
That-
get
Are you
5 guys.
bouldering or are you climbing?
Bouldering.
I like bouldering, yeah.
And we did an hour, you fucking liar.
Well, it wasn't. We're going to meet in the middle. It was 45.
It was an hour.
It was 45.
A tight hour.
It was definitely 45. And a lot of the time
Hard
we
hour.
spent just kind of laying on the mats.
No.
Sounds
we would
cute.
try.
Well,
we
we
would try
started-
again, but prematurely
But
because
then-
we didn't let our strength return.
But then we started doing parkour stuff where we run, jump on like a thing and reach and try to.
Yep.
Yeah, we started doing
But
some.
that place is pretty fucking fun.
I had a blast, dude.
Yeah, it is a good time. And then we went and we had some Five Guys, which it just feels.
And I know you'd be into that too.
Oh,
There you go.
100%,
Rock
yeah.
climbing,
Nothing wrong with
Five
some
Guys.
Five
Boom,
Guys.
boom, boom. If you
Nailed
could
it.
throw a fatty
I
at
would
the
love
end
to
of
do
that.
that. Though.
Oh,
We
yeah,
should
that's
set that
the
up. That would be
beginning.
great.
Max language.
Gravity Vault is a dope ass place right around the corner.
I'm
too.
fucking down to
We should
do
totally
that, man.
There are things that you were talking about the drug use and everything, and there are things that make me feel silly as an adult, and like using drugs to any large extent, like going to my friends' houses and trying to keep up with the drinking, feels silly.
Well, you're a 2 beer.
Yes. Oh yeah. I'm a 2-beer Nancy. Once
Yeah.
we hit that 2-beer limit,
You're a 2 beer steer.
I
you know
could
what I'm saying?
go to sleep right now.
The
after
boy brought
one,
2 cans of 8-ounce Coronas over the other day for the podcast.
and I knew that's all I needed. That's all I needed.
And Stephanie.
And I didn't finish the second one.
Oh
I
no!
poured it out
Stephanie
in
looked in the. She saw on the top of the trash the 2 cans, and she's like, "Was Dave drinking nips of Corona?" And I,
Nips, how dare she?
I was like, "Yeah,
Those
he
are
was.
regular. They're slim
They're
cans.
8-ounce."
And the Corona Lights because I'm watching my figure.
Oh Jesus!
I'm watching my figure. But I did a couple of years ago end up doing mushrooms. And when I did the mushrooms, I did. I had never done mushrooms before, and my first time I did 5 grams of mushrooms, and it was.
That's nice. You're supposed to have an eighth, so that an eighth is 3.5 grams. So
Yeah.
you did 5 grams. So you did almost a quarter. You did
Yeah,
close-
that's enough for a person
Oh,
doing
that's
it that's
gonna-
never done it before.
Yeah,
That's
I-
gonna put you on a real spiritual high. 5 grams.
You know what? The experience was really interesting. I got a lot of the visuals of like
Oh,
things
yeah.
breathing, expanding, contracting, expanding,
You
contracting.
see
Still kind of
anybody's
happens
eye
now.
like melt?
No, I didn't see that.
No, you didn't see an eyeball drop.
Visual acuity was like through the roof. Like every little, I could see. I mean, it sounds fucking ridiculous, but like I'm standing in my front lawn in Vernon, I could see bugs crawling on blades of grass. I could see.
But they really weren't though.
oh no, they were totally there.
No, because I remember looking. I was on a clay pit, and I put my hand down. I could see the cracks opening up on
Yeah.
the rocks, and I was like, "This
Isn't
is not
that
really
weird?
happening."
But the way they open up
Yeah.
makes sense. It doesn't happen in a very hallucinogenic way. It happens in a way where, like, if you really
Pretty
saw the
natural.
ground
Yeah.
expand, it would look that way.
oh yeah,
And I became obsessed for the next 6 to 7 hours with where does behavior stem from? Why do people behave the way they do? Why? What actually ended up happening was I came face to face with somebody who was relapsing. So they had been sober for X amount of time. Something happened. They went through a breakup, I think, and they went to a handle of Captain Morgan.
and you're telling them why they need to not be doing that while you're on drugs.
No, sir. What happens is I show up, I see this dude, he's laying in his own piss in the backyard, he's crying, and I decide that the move is to lean into this situation. And not to tell him that he's doing something wrong,
Yeah.
just to be there with him and go, okay, this is what we're doing, huh? That's cool. So I sat there with him. I didn't really ask him anything. He would he grabbed me and he would tell me his, the pains of his life and what drove him to this. And I would just go, okay, that's cool. And at one point he became very disrespectful and he knocked the sunglasses off of my head.
Oh.
He then Snapchatted him stomping on my sunglasses, which you've done mushrooms before.
I would have been scared.
I was not scared.
I gotta leave. I would have ran out.
There
the
was
backyard.
I felt no. Actually, what I did was I stomped my glasses out with him on Snapchat because I didn't
That
know
made
what
sense to
else
you?
to do. I didn't have any aggression.
What did that guy say when he was doing that to you?
He, that thing
This
where
is
like
how we deal with little bitches.
no. You know, addicts have a like alcoholics especially. They have a voice that
Yeah.
comes out like a
Demon voice.
like
Yeah.
a fucking
Guttural.
real, super guttural. It didn't even sound like him. Like I know this dude. It didn't sound anything like him. And he was just making those noises. He was just like, and I was like, okay, let's fucking
Did he
do
try
that.
hitting you?
No. He tried hugging me to apologize and all kinds
Covered
of
in
stuff.
piss.
Covered in piss. Very sad. But I just thought it was really interesting that it was this this like opposing thing where I'm on mushrooms, very unaggressive,
Yeah.
very introspective,
Yeah.
very aware, because you're really aware.
Okay.
You're super aware.
Oh, for sure.
Of fucking like everything.
I'll never. We were down by the waterfront one time, and Rich, singer of Tidal Gloom, reaches into his pocket. We're just me, my brother, and him, and he goes, "Okay, boys, I got a bag of weed, I got a bag of coke, and I got an eighth of mushrooms. Who wants what?" And I was like,
And you
"I'll take the mushrooms."
Okay.
Rich took the blow, and then Josh smoked the beezy.
Okay.
So he had a 20 bag, a 40 bag of blow, a 20 bag of weed, 40 bag of blow, ate the mushrooms. So you saw three. It was the League of Nations of drug users.
That's kind of like, that's an episode from the
And
best show ever.
Dude, and what happened is, I wish we could have gotten on film, because then we had an interaction with people. Two young kids that were down there, two skating kids.
Yeah.
We started interacting with them. So you saw what somebody high,
Yeah.
how they were like, how what somebody on mushrooms was like.
Right.
I was very like kind of giggly and like.
Did they know you were fucked up,
hyper-
those kids? Like, did you make
They
them aware?
had to.
They had to.
Because
yeah.
Rich
But
didn't
you never
stop
had the
talking.
conversation.
Rich didn't stop talking. He was just going.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing his eyeball like drop down. I'm like, oh boy. So, and it was down by the waterfront in the water, and I was on a real spiritual.
Is that
high,
the one,
brother.
is that the one where you said you were in a car and it looked like the road?
No, that was another time.
That was
man.
another mushroom
I
time.
got out of that car on Florida Grove Road, and I walked the fuck home, dude. I was like, I am done. I walked to Ford's. I walked to fucking Ford's. I'll
Yep.
never forget it. I was like, I'm done.
Yeah.
You boys. Oh, wait. I think I lived down on maybe Elizabeth Street in Perth Amboy at that time. As soon as I saw the road go up to the sky,
Yeah.
I was like,
That'll do it.
pull me over, pull it over, pull it
Inception
over.
style.
And then Rich is like, why? What's going on? I said, because if I'm seeing this, you're seeing this, and I'm not going to be in the car when inevitably we get arrested.
Yeah, there is. It's an interesting thing, mushrooms. And I don't. I didn't hate it. You know, I didn't hate it. I thought it was pretty cool. I'm kind of glad that I did it as an adult and not as like some kid partying. You know,
See, I did a lot as a
kid partying.
kid.
Yeah.
Young, well, in the 20s.
Set and setting, Jason. Set and setting. That's what's important. I hopped in a car with my buddy and took a long drive, about an hour and 20 minutes down to where he lived, and just sat in deep thought. Like, why do people act the way that they do? Why am I thinking the way that I'm thinking? And what was crazy?
That's kind of like your old podcast. What's a plane? You get into a can,
no.
you fly to another place.
Look, just because
yeah, that's what flying is.
where
dude.
I belong was too intellectual for you to grasp.
I guess.
Doesn't mean that you need to disparage it, because
You can't dissect everything. When everything is a miracle, nothing is.
That's
what,
how it-
What are lips?
Yo,
what
but
are,
that's
what about these things that I'm using to talk?
that's what mushrooms do. Everything becomes a miracle on mushrooms. Everything is an epiphanous moment followed by an epiphanous moment. Everything back to back to back is like, oh my god, I never thought about teeth. What the fuck are teeth?
I use them to chop things. They grow out of my face.
Hey, I wanted to play the No Particular Night video. If you guys don't mind, do you think it's a good time?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, let's all draw our attention now to the big screen. You got a remote over there? Yeah, turn this up a little bit. Let's get some juice.
I got the screen over here.
Okay.
Plus, I've seen this video 100 times.
It's very well produced.
Tripping on E now, but I be da. Did you do all the music for this, man?
Yeah. Our buddy Jeff recorded like the live drums and stuff.
Okay. God damn it, Rich looks good in this.
Got that pea coat.
I'm telling you, man. The new thing right now is this sexy ass music. Sexy music is back.
Sexy
bro.
music, yes. There's a band called Breakbot who's got a great song that I enjoy called Baby I'm Yours. And it's very sexy.
There's this one girl, Britney Spears, does Baby One More Time.
She's got a
It's pretty
body
good.
on her. I'm very sorry to my wife.
You guys got to check it out. Yo, fuck you. You guys put the Hat Man in the video?
What's up with that, bro?
You know I couldn't sleep for a week after that fucking thing, right? A week, bro.
Where was this shot?
This was in Brooklyn.
Okay.
Forgot the name of the place. I don't know.
Damn, this motherfucker saw himself.
Oh, Rich starting to look cold in this video.
Oh
Right
yeah,
now,
this
bro.
was fucking freezing. This was the second night that this
Yeah,
part was shot
Yeah,
at.
yeah, it's starting to look cold out there.
Oh yeah.
This looks like
Got a
a
little
tremendous
wind.
amount of work, though.
Got a little wind picking up.
Yeah, it was. And then the dude over here in the background, Phil, he was fucking freezing the entire time. I felt so bad. That
The
coat
Hat Man?
sucked. Yeah,
Oh my God, yeah. He's naked under there.
pretty much.
After this, I gotta know what's up with the Hat Man. What's going on there?
Dude, because it's scary, bro.
It is scary.
The fact that you're gonna see that guy later,
No, I'm not gonna.
and he's gonna
I'm
butt
gonna be
fuck you.
No, nobody's fucking raping me, Jay.
That guy is. See, I've seen Rich run like that from drug dealers, from dogs. No. It's really awesome what you guys did, though, man. I really dig it.
I mean, this is like, I don't see any difference between this and any other highly produced video that I've seen
Is
on
that where
fucking
Rich
MTV
lives?
and shit.
Yeah,
He does?
yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Just walking into somebody else's.
Boy, that's white.
It's a project building? Is that a project
No,
building?
he lives in like Brooklyn.
Has he got the Reeboks Classics on?
Oh, yeah, he does.
Shout out to the Reeboks Classics.
My boy's got style, dude.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah, when I was editing this, it could have been like a Reebok sponsored.
Yeah,
video.
that right
Oh,
there.
for
That's
sure.
definitely
Oh, yeah, this whole thing,
running
yeah.
from demons in the night.
Make
Put
sure
on
to
your
have your
Reebok.
Reeboks on.
Put on your Reeboks Classics.
Oh, yeah, it has to be his house because he'd be randomly going into
now
a
everybody
fucking
knows where he
apartment.
lives. Apartment number 4.
Oh, I totally forgot that he wakes up somewhere not in his apartment.
It's like, ah, fuck. How did I
Rich was actually hammered drunk.
fall asleep?
That's a
standing
real.
up?
That actually really
This is
happened.
This
to
is a
him.
real thing.
I seen him
And then
fall
the police-
asleep at a bar one time. There's the fucking Hat Man,
There's
dude.
the goddamn Hat Man.
I gotta go to sleep in like another couple minutes, and you're showing me
Couple
the
of
Hat
minutes.
Man.
Couple minutes.
Dude, I gotta get up, man, at 5:30, and evidently I got a text message from my dude. I gotta go pick him up in the morning now.
No, who your
One-
partner and
one of my boys.
Oy. Damn, this guy just can't.
Can't get
fucking
away from the
escape.
Hat Man, bro.
Just got to give him the hands. At this point, if he keeps showing up, hit him. See what happens. He's got great cardio though.
Oh yeah, the Hat Man's got good cardio because Rich.
Rich doesn't have
Yo.
good cardio.
He's a smoker.
He's a smoker. I'm surprised that Rich ran this
Oh
much.
no, yeah, he wasn't happy about it.
Oh, I bet. You tell Rich he's got to run for the next fucking 7 hours. doing
Ah,
this
the
shit.
fucking Hat Man absorbed him.
Oh yeah.
So Rich was the Hat Man the whole fucking time.
That's how it be though. That's
I
how
could
it
see
be.
Rich as the Slender Man. Sure.
That's how it be.
That was fucking awesome, dude.
Thank you.
I mean that.
Congratulations.
And so, do you guys produce that all as a group? Do you outsource to anything, or are you doing that all?
No, I directed and edited and colored that video, and I had my buddy shoot it. And
Okay.
then the guy that helped shoot actually played the Slender Man guy.
Okay.
And
So
then
what was
Rich the singer was obviously the main guy.
So what's the move there? Why the image of the guy with the hat?
I don't know.
You just felt like it was a good thing because it is a good thing to go
Yeah,
with.
Well,
yeah.
who was the director? Who directed the video?
Me, yeah.
So that was,
no,
that was
just-
all you.
I gotta make a
no,
pee-pee,
it's just
boys. I'll
kind
be
of
real quick.
just some like noir, kind of
Okay.
stuff, like nothing too specific,
Because you know that fucker, that we did that sleep paralysis one.
Yeah.
Couldn't fall asleep for a week.
Yeah.
Had a real hard time with that. Thought I was this like goddamn titan, and turns out I'm a pussycat. I was just like, called up Dave a couple days later. I was like, hey, having a hard time falling asleep by any chance? And he's like, yeah, that first night was fucking rough, dude.
Yeah, it's rough stuff.
So let me ask you, how's Krista doing with the candle thing? She's killing it?
Yeah, she's killing it. Our apartment smells amazing all the time.
This smells fucking amazing. This is that mango one?
yeah, the
Bali
Bali mango, dude.
Oh my God, it smells so good, dude. I'm happy for her, man. I'm glad she's doing good.
Yeah, that was a little quarantine hobby that turned into something a little bit more.
I think everybody kind of had that like thing. This is kind of what birthed this. The whole idea of when we were locked down, we were kicking around this idea for a while. I'm just glad we kind of did a couple of those dry runs
Yeah.
in the beginning, It was kind of bad in the beginning. I'm not gonna lie. We were just talking over each other. It was
but you just got to get used to it.
we figured it out.
Yeah.
Yeah. We really kind of dialed it in over the last couple weeks, man. I'm glad you were our first guest on this because you're kind of really the unsung hero of Dave and Jay versus the world. It's Dave, Jay, and Matt versus the world.
And Matt.
That's great, man. No, I was just telling him, man, talking about Krista with the candles, the She Makes Candles, and how that was kind of spawned out of the quarantine, and so was this, the idea for the podcast. And
yeah, I love that idea that we did it when everybody else was suffering.
Yeah, and then we did a couple dry runs of it and stuff, and in the beginning I was like, boy, this is kind of rough. And then we started kind of dialing it in.
Yeah, then those first 2 episodes were a little...
Yeah.
Like, you could see there was a progression. It got a little bit better, but yeah, it felt a little gritty. But it's cool because I think a lot of people started something during the quarantine.
I loved it. I love how people... You really kind of see... You really kind of got a chance to see people express themselves and figure it out and do something.
Once you have time when you're not in the everyday grind of life and bills and all that other shit. Well, I mean, bills are still part of it. This
album was done during quarantine?
No, not this one. No, this we did like 2 years ago.
Did you do anything during quarantine? Did you write any
Not for
material?
Title Gloom. I just edited some music videos and stuff.
So Funeral Fires was
Fires. That's kind of like we finished that project during quarantine. And then,
cool.
Getting ready to release that in about a week or two.
It's so fucking cool, like how you got to see people like really like be able to express themselves and be creative and do things like this. So it was kind of like a blessing and a curse, Yeah. It was terrible. I gotta admit, I had a pretty good time during lockdown. I had a pretty fun time. I was able to work out and train like every day and be around my like family and just enjoy that and have movie nights, and then we'd have game nights. Yeah, it was a good time, man.
Without that free time, you might not have started getting the wheels spinning like in regards to starting the podcast and stuff, because it was after everything got shut down that we really decided to do this. And so we had kicked the can around a little bit before. Yeah. But it is cool to see people, like, it shows you if we were just freed up of a little bit of time, we only have...
And honestly, dude, not for nothing, a little bit of money, dude. Because fortunately I was able to, like, put a couple bucks away, and that, like, between him and Josh and figuring out equipment and everything, we got some decent equipment for some decent cash, and like... Yeah, we got lucky, man. Yeah. I'm really happy with the product that we put out every week. And Matt, I just want to say thank you very much, man, for everything that you've been doing, man. Because he really is the third member of Dave and Jay and Matt versus the world.
There you go.
Is there anything you want to plug? You want to plug some of this stuff? Because not for nothing, I think we're getting a couple. This will literally reach tens of people.
Trust me, now is what strike while the iron's hot.
Yeah, plug some shit, dude. We'll put it in link for our YouTube and everything like
absolutely.
that.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, Title Gloom, that's like my main project. Funeral Fires, that's the one coming out in a couple weeks.
Funeral Fries,
yeah. I feel like we've talked enough about Title Gloom. I mean, if you want to play one of these songs, it's like a minute long.
Yeah, that's cool. We can do that. Which one do you prefer? Sasquatch Iced Tea or Party Puke?
How about this?
Fuck it, put Sasquatch Iced Tea on.
How about we let this play us out? So
we can do that.
We'll put on.
That's a good song to play out.
Yeah, we'll put on Sasquatch.
Actually, no. The other song is better to play out.
Okay, cool. Yeah. We'll do that.
And then you could also you could buy this on
Bandcamp right now.
Bandcamp.
Yeah,
I know
the
I bought
album
one
comes out August 28th. You can get it on iTunes then.
I know I bought Title Gloom on Apple Music, and don't be an asshole. For $2, buy the fucking album.
Yeah,
guys.
Don't illegally stream.
Yeah, don't illegally stream it. So we'll just have them play us out. So this was
episode 11 of Dave and Jay versus the World.
Matt, thank you for coming on.
Thank you,
man.
Matthew.
I love you, dude. I really do, man. It was really good having you on. I think it was just apropos to have you on because you really are like the backbone of this.
I agree. Yeah, I think it was a good first guest decision.
Absolutely.
And thank you guys for listening.
For
guys,
and you're absolutely welcome.
This was Dave and Jay and Matt versus the world. I'm Jay. He's Dave. He's Matt. And this is Funeral Fires.
Bye-bye.
Staggering backwards, I like to either sense in my blood, ruin a lullabies. Staggering backwards, I like to either sense in my blood, ruin a lullabies. Oh!